Hey everybody, Harry Newhand here. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you had a great weekend. I know we lost an hour there, springing forward on the daylight savings time action. But it is now light out, and it's 7 p.m. Eastern time, so that's a cool thing. And that's just the beginning. It's going to get lighter and lighter every single day. So had a beautiful day today, in the 50s, I think 56. I was talking to a client from Texas today, and she goes, "What's it like up there in Detroit?" I said, "Today it's kind of warm. It's a really nice day. It's 56. I said, "But for you, that's probably cold." She goes, "No, that's all it is here." I said, "Okay, well, that's good." So I said, "It's still probably cold for you guys, but it was great here." Anyway, I got a couple things to cover with you today that hopefully it lands with you and resonates with you, that can give you some insight and some food for the mind. Client I was talking to, two stories I'll tell you real quick here. One of them was, I was at a dinner party over the weekend, and it was a guys only. It was a stag party, and there was about 35, 40 guys there, and had a great time, a lot of food, and I was in a conversation with an older gentleman, older than me, and he was retired. And I said, he goes, "What about you?" I said, "No, I don't know that I'll ever retire." I said, I don't feel, I got too much energy right now. I got too much energy, got a lot going on, and I don't, that's not even in my periphery. He said, "I've been retired for 15 years. I said, "Well, that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that." I said, "How do you keep yourself busy?" He goes, "Well, I do this and I do that." And I said, "Well, have you thought about doing this?" He goes, "Well, I make these wooden things and these little clocks, and but you can't get any money for those." And I pulled out my smartphone and pulled it up on the online. I said, "Well, this one here, you can get this." He goes, "Oh, wow, I didn't know that." So it is a perfect example of somebody that is not in the technology conversation of what's possible, what the generational changes, kind of like from horse and buggy to cars. If you didn't make that transition, you were kind of left behind. The same thing with computers from typewriters and what before. That's a whole generation that got either left behind or you adapted to it. And I told him, I said, one of the reasons why I don't want to retire is because I watched my parents lose purpose. They lost purpose. Once you lose purpose, it was downhill after that. And it's unfortunate, but they lost purpose. My dad kept working until he couldn't. He had suffered from dementia. But my mom, she lost that purpose and just slowly deteriorated. So just wanted to share that part. But the other one was, I was on the phone with a client earlier today, actually, and I said, what can I help you with? She goes, I've seen you around the community and on Facebook, and I like what you're saying, and I'm a retired school teacher, and I taught for 40 years. I was underpaid for 40 years, and now I'm living paycheck to paycheck, or I was living paycheck to paycheck, and now I'm dependent on Social Security. So I'm looking. I need to make money, and I need to find out how I can make money. I said, well, let's look at a couple things that you said there. I said, so for 40 years you were a school teacher. She goes, yeah. She goes, and I was underpaid. I said, okay. I said, let's think about what we're saying. I said, the first thing is, and I said, don't take this personal. I said, just going to give you my observation. I said, it's not that you were underpaid. I said, one of the things I was taught, one of my mentors taught me, I said, a few simple disciplines repeated every single day over a period of time equals fortune. A few simple errors in judgment repeated every single day over a period of time equals pennies. I said, so you didn't have the discipline to do smarter things with your money, the financial intelligence on what to do with that. She goes, yeah, that's a good way to put it. She goes, I like that. I said, well, that's the reality. It's not that you were underpaid. It's that you didn't do the things necessary that needed to be done to protect your wealth, so that when you're in your 60s, you don't have to be dependent on anybody. And she goes, okay, I'll buy that. And she goes, well, how can I go out there and make money? I said, well, let's change that too. I said, let's talk about serving. I said, if you go out there wanting to make money, the money will evade you. If you go out there trying to serve as many people as possible, the money will hunt you down. She goes, well, I've been serving my whole life. And she got into an underpaid conversation. You guys know, we already talked about that. She goes, yeah, you're right. She goes, I just feel like I've been serving. I said, okay, so let's look at this. You want to be wealthy? Study wealth. You want to be successful? Study success. You want to be thin, healthy, strong, study health, nutrition, what it takes to be strong. I said, whatever you want to be, study that. And then you'll learn what it takes to be that. She goes, well, how do you where did you learn your financial stuff there? And I said, well, just through time. I got around people that taught me. I said, and what I don't learn, I don't want to learn, I hire out. I delegate it out to somebody else, like an accountant or a CPA, to do that. I said, that's not what I do best. What I do best is serving, teaching how to sell, teaching how to make more sales, teaching how to get better at what you do, teaching how to recruit, teaching how to build a network marketing organization, because that's the conversation we're having here today. So those are two things I want to share with you. Is what do you want? Do you know what you want? Do you want wealth? Do you want recruiting? Study recruiting. You want sales? Study sales. You want to get clients? Study how to get clients. Study these things. And I know you are, otherwise you wouldn't be part of this group here, because we do these trainings on a regular basis. Two big announcements, and then we'll cut it off here today. Two big announcements. Next Monday, I'm going to have a special guest I'm interviewing. This guy is a legend, a young legend. He's under 40. I'm pretty sure he's under 40, maybe 36 or 37. But he has got an amazing reputation. He's going to be my guest next Monday. His name is, gosh, I can't remember his name. It is, hang on. You guys will know, it's Vitaly Tennant. Vitaly Tennant got to multiple six figures a month in network marketing, built massive organizations in 2 different companies. In situations outside of his control, they're not there anymore, but he is very, very popular, sought after, public speaker, highly intelligent. He's going to be my guest next Monday on a Zoom call at 1 o'clock Eastern time in the afternoon. So if you want to be in on that Zoom, I'm going to put the announcement here the next day or two, put the announcement in the group. You guys can log on, be part of that Zoom interview. It's going to be an interview. Okay, doesn't cost anything. It's free. He's going to share some wisdom with us. So that's going to be awesome. The other announcement is I've got my class set up for Saturday the 26th. Put it on your calendar. And this is going to be the art of enrolling customers and new distributors or business partners. I call them distributors. The art of enrolling. The art of enrolling, how to enroll your customers, creating a system to enroll your customers and distributors, and making sure you got the messaging right. We're going to talk about that. That's going to be on Saturday the 26th. By Wednesday, I'll have the registration link. That is going to be a free class, but there will be a registration only. It's going to be invitation only. So I'll post the registration link in the group here. That is Saturday the 26th at 12 noon Eastern Time, 9 a.m. Pacific Time. It's going to be a 3-hour boot camp, and it's going to be totally focused on enrolling. We may do a hot seat in there, some questions and answers. I'm sure we're going to do some questions and answers on the back end for your particular product or business, but we're not going to be promoting anybody's company. It's going to be all generic stuff. Okay, so those are 2 announcements. Mark them on your calendar if you want to attend. By the way, the Zoom interview I'm going to do with Vitaly is I'm going to have that in the group here. It's going to be posted. So I'll have that posted in the group. So if you can't get it live, you'll be able to get the replay. That's going to be an exciting thing. And then we're going to go from there. All right, everybody. Hopefully you got those 2 announcements. Saturday the 26th, 3-hour boot camp. Tell your downline, your crossline. The last one in February blew everybody away. So we got a lot of positive response on that, and we got a lot of mileage. And again, it's all generic, so you can feel comfortable. It's a safe environment to have your downline, your upline, your crossline. Spread the word, and we'll get the link out here before Wednesday, hopefully tomorrow, but certainly by Wednesday. So we'll have a few days here to promote that class. All right, have a great day, everybody. Talk to you then.